to, but I think especially Caitlin Clark, she's been killing it. And I'm a huge fan, and I never say that, but I think it's fun what she's doing.
When a rookie's talent is so undeniable that even veterans can't help but cheer, you know something big is happening. Sophie Cunningham, a teammate of Caitlin Clark's biggest critic, Diana Taurasi, has just made waves with some powerful statements that are rocking the WNBA. The league's old guard is stepping aside, and you won't believe who's taking the lead. Enter Caitlin Clark, the standout guard who isn't just playing the game, she's rewriting it. With averages of 19.2 points, 8.5 assists, and 5.8 rebounds per game, Clark isn't just filling stat sheets, she's filling arenas and capturing hearts. And here's the twist, it's not just the fans who are buzzing.
When you talk about the young girls that came in, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, rookie class, really hyping up the league coming from college to the WNBA, what has that done for you and the buzz of this entire?
You might think rookies impress fans all the time, but when a veteran like Sophie Cunningham says, "I'm a huge fan, and I never say that," you know something extraordinary is happening. This isn't just about stats, it's about respect, and in the WNBA, respect is hard-earned. So what has the veterans sitting up and taking notice? Is it Clark's court vision, her clutch shots, or something more that's shifting even the toughest critics' perspectives? In this video, we'll break down why Sophie Cunningham had such high praise and what it means for the future of women's basketball. Get ready for an in-depth look at this surprising admiration. And before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more basketball insights.
Caitlin Clark come into the WNBA and do what she's doing right now immediately? Absolutely not.
You might think Caitlin Clark's success would ruffle some feathers in the WNBA. After all, there's one veteran who seems to outright ignore her. Yes, Cheryl, I'm talking about you. And then there's Diana Taurasi, who warned that reality is coming. Well, guess what, Diana? Reality arrived and Clark swept you with a perfect score.
It's so positive. I really do. I think it's a fun time to be a part of the W. I truly believe that. I think the skill and the talent has always been there, but now it's just the viewership.
But there's one player who's singing a different tune. Why is this veteran support sending shockwaves through the league? Sophie Cunningham, a seasoned pro with the Phoenix Mercury and longtime teammate of Diana Taurasi, the WNBA's all-time leading scorer and one of Caitlin Clark's most vocal critics, should be towing the party line. Yet Cunningham is breaking ranks in a major way. Her declaration, "I'm a huge fan, and I never say that," is reverberating through the basketball world. You might think players compliment each other all the time, but in the WNBA, where respect is hard-earned through blood, sweat, and tears, such an endorsement from a veteran to a rookie is as rare as a slam dunk. Cunningham isn't just any player, she's part of the old guard, the established elite who've paid their dues and earned their stripes. For her to champion Clark so publicly is unprecedented. But Cunningham didn't stop there. She went on to say,
"Reality is coming. There's levels to this thing. You're going to come with some grown women that have been playing professional basketball for a long time."
With these words, Cunningham isn't just praising Clark's game, she's acknowledging her impact on the entire league. In a sport where veterans often see newcomers as threats to their playing time and paychecks, Cunningham's support is a game changer. She's embracing the change Clark represents, understanding that a rising tide lifts all boats. Clark's popularity could be the boost the WNBA has been waiting for. But here's where it gets really juicy. Remember Taurasi, Cunningham's teammate and Clark's critic.
I give a big old clap to the rookie class. I think that's a lot to deal with when you're at that age and you have that many eyes on you. But I think they've done a great job in the league as well. I think the physicality and all that they're going to get.
Cunningham's support for Clark is uniting the old and new guard, bridging a gap many thought was unbridgeable. It's proving that there's room for both seasoned stars and fresh faces in the WNBA spotlight. Cunningham isn't just offering words of encouragement, she's setting a powerful example of how veterans can support and nurture new talent, even when it threatens to eclipse them.
In terms of viewership, man, I think a lot of people have a lot to learn about our league, but I think that's a really fun thing. And if you have really anything negative to say about all the viewership and everything that this rookie class is doing, I just think that you're not capitalizing on it and you might be a little jealous. So for me, I'm all for it. I'm about it. I love all this stuff.
This isn't just about Caitlin Clark anymore, it's about a shifting dynamic in the league. Cunningham's words are more than just praise, they're a rallying cry, a call for unity between the old and the new. She's demonstrating that success for one player can translate into success for all, showing that the league can evolve without leaving its veterans behind. Because basketball is about more than what happens on the court, it's about the culture, relationships, and the unspoken rules that shape player interactions. Cunningham's support for Clark represents a seismic shift in that culture. It's a message that we can celebrate new talent without diminishing our own legacies. And let's be honest, such backing can make or break a career. The WNBA is a pressure cooker, and having a veteran advocate can be the difference between sinking and swimming. Cunningham's endorsement isn't just a nice gesture, it's a lifeline as Clark navigates the turbulent waters of professional basketball. If you're enjoying the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. We appreciate you taking the time to watch. Now back to the action. While Cunningham's support is crucial, it's just the tip of the iceberg. Picture this: packed stadiums, skyrocketing viewership, and a league on fire. Let's break down the numbers. Caitlin Clark is averaging 19.2 points, 8.5 assists, and 5.8 rebounds per game. Impressive. But these stats only scratch the surface. Clark isn't just filling stat sheets, she's filling arenas and capturing hearts. The real story unfolds off the court. Imagine walking into a WNBA game. The energy is electric, the stands are packed, and all eyes are on one player. That's the Clark effect. She's not just a player, she's a phenomenon. Viewership is soaring, and the WNBA is garnering unprecedented attention. But here's where it gets tricky. Can Clark handle the pressure? Every move she makes is under the microscope. Every shot is dissected, and defenses aren't just trying to stop her, they're redesigning their entire game plans around her. It's like she's playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. Her assists aren't just passes, they're works of art, showcasing angles and vision that leave commentators in awe. But here's the million-dollar question: can she maintain this level of performance? The target on her back grows with each game. Teams are throwing everything they've got at her: double teams, box and ones, and more. They're altering their entire strategies just to contain one player. That's a mark of respect, but it also brings immense pressure. You might be wondering. Sure, Clark has handled the pressure so far, but this isn't college anymore, this is the big leagues, where every player was once the star of their team. The competition is fierce, and the scrutiny is relentless. Clark isn't just facing other teams, she's contending with sky-high expectations. Fans are waiting for her to drop 30 points, dish out 10 assists, or set another record each game. That's a heavy burden for anyone, especially a rookie. But here's where Clark stands apart. Under immense pressure, she isn't just surviving, she's thriving. When defenses tighten, she adapts, finding new ways to score or creating opportunities for her teammates. The more they try to stop her, the better she becomes. It's not just about her individual performance, Clark is reshaping the entire landscape of women's basketball. Young girls aren't just dreaming of playing in the WNBA, they're aspiring to play like Caitlin Clark. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. The season is long, and the real test is still to come. Can Clark maintain this pace? Will the constant attention and pressure wear her down, or will she continue to rise above, solidifying her status as a league-changing superstar? One thing's for sure, the WNBA hasn't seen anything like this before. Clark isn't just playing the game, she's redefining it. Whether you're a fan or a critic, you can't ignore that she's making women's basketball more exciting than ever. As Clark electrifies arenas, a hidden transformation is unfolding. What if her rise signals the dawn of a new era for women's basketball? The ripple effects could redefine everything you thought you knew about the sport.
Instead of being like annoyed that there are more viewers, capitalize on it. There are more people watching YouTube.
Think Caitlin Clark's success only benefits her? Think again. Sophie Cunningham's bold support isn't just about one player, it's transforming the entire league. Cunningham isn't holding back against Clark's critics, pointing out their jealousy and highlighting a key truth: they might be missing the bigger picture. Clark isn't just amassing personal stats, she's elevating the entire game. Each time she steps on the court, she lifts everyone up, bringing in new fans and inspiring young players. The Clark effect isn't confined to the sidelines, it's electrifying arenas, boosting viewership and lighting up social media. Women's basketball is becoming the hottest ticket in town. Arenas are packed, viewership is soaring, and the buzz is undeniable. This WNBA game has the same energy as an NBA Finals match, no longer far-fetched, but a thrilling reality. Clark is bringing an electric atmosphere to every game she plays. It's not just her skills, it's the excitement she generates. People aren't just watching basketball, they're witnessing history in the making. And here's where it gets really interesting: the media is starting to take notice, real notice. We're talking prime-time coverage, in-depth analysis, and the kind of spotlight usually reserved for the biggest names in sports. Clark isn't just changing the game, she's changing how the game is perceived. Veterans like Cunningham aren't just cheering from the sidelines, they're actively paving the way. They're demonstrating that there's room for both the old guard and the new stars. It's not about competition, it's about collaboration. They're saying, we've laid the foundation, now let's build something incredible together. This is where the real magic happens. As veterans embrace the rookies, we're witnessing a fusion of experience and innovation. It's like a perfect alley-oop. The seasoned pro sets it up, and the young star slams it home. Together, they're taking the game to heights we've never seen before. And it's not just about what happens on the court. This new era is changing perceptions off the court too. Suddenly, women's basketball isn't a side note in sports conversations, it's front and center. That's not just a turnaround, it's a complete 180 that has the whole league buzzing. Veterans like Sophie Cunningham aren't just noticing, they're jumping on board. It's no longer about old guard versus new blood, it's about a united front pushing women's basketball to new heights. We're not just watching games, we're witnessing the birth of a new era. Are you ready for what comes next?
Missed damn near every three she took, but what she was doing, she was dishing.
For example, Christy Wallace saw some playing time after a long absence, but it didn't go as planned. She missed an open shot after a great pass from Caitlin Clark, which was a bit of a letdown, especially in such a crucial moment.
Some of her passes, I know she passed Pistol Pete at the collegiate level as the all-time greatest scorer. Some of her passes looked just, I mean, they were just as crisp, innovative. I didn't see that on the floor. She did type of passes.
While Wallace played hard on defense, KDL Sampson struggled to make an impact. She lacked confidence and wasn't effective defensively, and without her scoring, she didn't contribute much. When Sampson isn't producing offensively, her overall value to the team noticeably drops.
You know, Christy always draws that best opposing team's offensive player.
I'll give Side some credit. While her decisions may not have seemed geared towards winning the game, she might have been focused on building confidence and giving players valuable experience as they approach the playoffs. This approach could be about preparing the team for the postseason rather than just securing this game. With the Fever having already secured their playoff spot, the outcomes of these games are less critical. It seems like they're using this time to experiment and fine-tune their lineup before the postseason begins.
Amazing. And to the point where some of her teammates weren't ready for it, or they were, and they're not used to it from her yet.
That could very well have influenced Side's choices. If Lexi Hull gets into foul trouble during the playoffs, having players like Wallace and Katie Lou Sampson with a similar playing style could prove valuable. Sides might be using these games to gauge their readiness and versatility in case of such scenarios.
Game turned in the third quarter. They were down by double digits at half. And Caitlin Clark's teammates started performing better.
Given the challenge of defending against so many big players, Sides might have been experimenting with different options at the 4 position, testing out players like Wallace and Sampson to see how well they can shoot and fit into that role could be part of the strategy to find the best defensive and offensive balance for the playoffs.
Fever already locked up a playoff spot on their night off.
Yes.
But man, this is the first time that they're going to be in the postseason since 2016, a 7-season playoff drought. And this is exactly what Caitlin said the goal would be this year. You know, people right away were like, are you guys going to win a championship? She's like, pump the brakes. The goal is to get this team, A, above a 500 record,
Correct.
and B, back in the postseason. And that's
Nalissa Smith can be a bit of a puzzle. Every time she gets the ball, there's a concern about potential turnovers or questionable decisions. She played hard in this game, but the position continues to be a challenge for the team. Let us know in the comments. Like and subscribe so you never miss out on the latest news. Click the video on the screen, and we'll see you in the next one.